sat down exclusively with JP Morgan Chase Chairman and CEO Jamie Dimon, and he weighed in on everything from the implications of tax reform, telling me he's bullish about the year ahead, to expecting to be paying out consistent dividends and investing in his business. I started off, though, about the conference and asked him what drives the popularity of this healthcare conference.
It's an amazing conference. There's 10,000 people here now. I think it's something like almost 2,000 individual meetings. But I think for the American public, the beauty of this, if you go way back to the beginning, it was 10 companies. Now it's almost 500. And the market cap was 100 billion. The total market cap here is 5.6 trillion. But it's the beauty of free enterprise. Right, even right through the Great Recession, more ideas, more innovation, and all of it lead to better health for people, for mankind. So that to me is just an amazingly uplifting thing.
Yeah, and because you're seeing companies talk about new innovations as well as do deals and sort of get the health of the sector.
Yeah.
As you know, I love this conference,
yeah.
And congratulations to you and the bank. JP Morgan, largest bank, $1.33 trillion in deposit, millions in credit cards. How would you characterize what you're seeing from your business lines right now? Broad economy.
Well, both from our business lines and all other data, the United States, which is growing at 2% a year, is clearly accelerating. And you see it in household incomes, you see it in wages, you see it in jobs, you see it in capital investment, and of course it's helped by the fact the rest of the world is growing too. So we see, there's some small negatives, like loans are down for some reason, can't completely figure it out, but the American economy looks like it's strengthening.
Why? What's behind that?
This is my own personal opinion, and I can't prove it. It's kind of pent up. We were growing slow for a long time. Animal spirits are back, markets are higher. So things are happening, they just happen slower and later. So I think you're going to see more people coming back to the workforce. You're going to start to see wage increases like we want. I mean, a year from now, my guess is people will be talking about being afraid of inflation, but we want wages to go up for the average American. And so confidence is up. And like I said, the rest of the world is surprising people too.
There was a lot of anticipation about the tax legislation as well. Now that is signed into law. Yeah. What do you feel is the impact of this? When you talk about a 21% corporate rate versus all the way down from close to 40%, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
What's the impact?
And I think one of the mistakes that people make is that somehow what's the impact tomorrow is going to have a huge cumulative effect. And I'm actually kind of surprised that people say having an uncompetitive tax system would be good for America. So the world, if you go back 20 years ago, the world was at almost 40%. We are at 40%. Now most of the world is close to 20%, and we're at 40%. I look at competitive taxes for business as table stakes. It's a bad idea. And by most measures, it's driven capital, brains overseas, and some, I think it was Price Waterhouse, E&Y estimated 5,000 companies that would have been headquartered here are now headquartered overseas, mostly by acquisition of foreign companies. So it was a huge disadvantage. You're going to see companies doing things in the short run, like increasing wages and a bunch of stuff like that, or one-time bonuses, and we may do something. We're going to announce it sometime later. But over time, that retained capital will be used to grow businesses, R&D, hire people, wages, competition. And over time, they'll be very good for America.
You've talked about some of the savings being competed away because maybe you will lower costs as a result of that. How much would be competed away, and what are you planning? I mean, you see companies paying $1,000 checks. Is that something you would consider?
We're going to consider a whole bunch of different things, but also around helping accelerate growth in America. Like small businesses, like branches, like affordable housing, things like that, which I think have a double effect. So we're thinking through a bunch of ideas how we can spend some of this money. But the fact is, the competitive tax system is good for America, and some of it will be competed away in a very competitive environment, so it'll be kind of a one-time benefit, and not one time, it'll go up and be competed away. But people should remember, when we say that, that means because it's going to go to better pricing to consumers, more innovation, more R&D, or higher wages. That's what competes it away. And that's exactly what Americans want.
What about the rollback in regulations? This, I know, is a really big deal, certainly for your company and the entire industry, if not corporate America in general. You see all these changes, new people in different agencies, regulations coming down. What kind of an impact has that had? And what does that mean for your cost basis going forward?
Again, I talk about it a little bit differently because I think there's no question in my mind. I'm not talking about banks now. The regulations was like a friction cost in society, and it got worse and worse and worse. So in other industries, if I speak to some of my friends in media, mining, telecom, they're clearly seeing a benefit. We haven't really seen it yet in financial services because the new people just put in place. But the American public should think of this as a vast bureaucracy, which is like sand in the engine. And to reduce some of that, not roll back good regulations, not go back to the good old times, we need to protect consumers, but bureaucracy is bureaucracy. And the American public knows it when they go to the DMV. Veterans know it when they go to the VA. And that's what's been happening more and more in the United States. And to give you just one example, which I particularly find bad, 12 years on average to approve a bridge in America. Okay, like in Canada and Germany, it takes 2 years. So the Bayonne Bridge that connects New Jersey to Staten Island, 12 years, and there was already an existing bridge that was falling down. And so we've lost some of this can-do American capability. If we can just accelerate some of these things, we'll have infrastructure in place much faster. But if we just kill ourselves with bureaucracy, there's an article in the paper today, this small company that did Apple's upstate, I think it was upstate New York, 5,000 rules and regulations. They don't want to kill anyone with bad apples, but one day we have to take a deep breath and create a more efficient, competent way to properly regulate and not just allow every agency, every state, every city to throw rules on top of rules. And even regulators know that, by the way.
Not to mention, much of the expenses at corporates has been going to hiring lawyers and compliance experts and all of this. That's got to be good for the bottom line.
Yeah. And another reason why you have slow growth. All this money is being used for something that does not create productivity. And so we just need, as a country, to do a better job balancing those two.
Are you more poised to use extra savings from the tax plan and this rollback in regulations to increase dividend, to buy back stock, to create new jobs, invest in the business? What are you most poised to do?
So our dividend will consistently go up like it always has, and be steady and secure and stuff like that. The primary thing to JP Morgan Chase is always to use your capital to grow. That is why we're here. And that's investing in communities, countries, going to new countries around the world, opening more branches here. So we've opened 20 commercial banking branches in the United States in the last 5 or 10 years. In some ways, we've been inhibited. Regulators have wanted banks to hold their capital. So a lot of that capital is retained for regulatory purposes. It was not used for growth purposes, and some for legitimate reasons. But at one point, banks are going to use that to grow. In the short run, because you just can't turn growth on and off, some will do more buyback. But under the right circumstances, over time, capital will be used to grow businesses.
Does this eventually translate into jobs, do you think?
Absolutely.
How? Connect the dots for us.
Well, I said we opened 20 branches for commercial banking. Those branches have 10 people each. If we ever go to new cities or new states, we're going to be adding 10 or 12 people a branch. And if we're successful as a company, we do innovation, on the internet or a mobile bank or something like that, we have to add people in digital. We've already added thousands of people in digital, big data, AI, to serve our clients. So yeah, ultimately it leads to jobs. The number one thing for jobs is a healthy, vibrant economy. And people should always remember, a healthy, vibrant economy drives jobs and wages. And so, a competitive tax system, proper, smart regulation, but cutting some of the bureaucracy, those will help jobs. Infrastructure, we have to fix that. Inner city school education, half the kids don't graduate. Well, that's not good for productivity. That's not good for opportunity. It's not good for wages. It's not good for how America feels about itself. And we have to fix some of these problems.